Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hawaii Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us today. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your cameras and microphones are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. Presentations being recorded. It'll be available within about a week at strivescan.com/Hawaii. I've gotten the housekeeping stuff out of the way, so I will step out of the way. Turn it over to our first presentation from the representative from Humboldt State University.
Great, thank you so much, Russ. Let me just share my screen and I'll be ready to go. Great, are you able to see my screen? Yes, okay, yep. Thank you. Aloha, mahalo for your time. My name is Vanessa. I'm an admissions counselor from Humboldt State University. I'm also an alum from that school and had such a great experience. So I love that I get to give you guys one of many options that y'all have after, whether that's high school, community college, or any time in life. So we are part of the Cal State University system. There are 23 great options all across California. We hold it down in Northern California in Arcata, very much so that small college town experience. It's definitely a rural area, very gorgeous. We're right along the redwoods and the ocean. So I know it's gorgeous where y'all are at. So why not go from one gorgeous spot to the next? We definitely are smaller to medium size when you compare all of the CSUs. So really exploring what kind of experience do you want? Do you want that smaller classroom experience or that big, stadium experience when that time comes for all of us? So just really thinking about that size and what you're looking for. I personally really loved that I had the space, the small space, to get to know my professors and my advisors, and I'm still friends with them. And that's a really great part of the experience, especially when you're looking at research opportunities, internships, as well as, that support, mentorship, and letters of recommendations going forward. We really are all about that relationship building and community. One huge benefit that my Hawaii students have for our school at Humboldt is we do have the WUI program, or the Western Undergraduate Exchange. And what I love about our WUI program is it's automatic. Every single year, your tuition gets cut almost in half. It's not a scholarship. You don't have to meet a certain GPA. You just put your zip code on the application and you are automatically in WUI. Got little pups coming back here, so who doesn't like a nice little pup bomb into your Zoom? So one other thing that I like to mention is that we do have a local airport, so you are able to fly in to the area. I always like to highlight we are leaders in sustainability and social justice, so you will see this interweaved within all of our curriculum, as well as on our campus and in our community. We have a variety of different programs, anything from, business, kinesiology, social work. We really have some strong science programs because of our location being just minutes from the ocean, as well as our forestry, wildlife, etc. And then we do have our College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Science, from art, film, dance, all those great programs. What I loved the most about this education is we're all about hands-on learning and getting involved in the community and doing that right away. So you know what you want to do and when you get that experience, from the beginning. We have a lot of amazing clubs and academic and cultural support. I highly recommend getting out there and connecting with these departments, asking for free tutoring, checking out all of the clubs, and really just getting involved in building that family wherever you choose to go. These are many things that we have. For the sake of time, I do want to get to the next aspect of it, so housing as well as our requirements. So housing is not required, but definitely recommended, and you can see quite a variety of our options from freshmen to transfer housing as well as returning student housing. So how do you get into the school? So we do have our freshman admissions requirements, and probably like many, if not all of the other CSUs, there were some changes this year that may continue on in future years. But the things that stayed the same was, of course, graduating high school, your A through G requirements. But what changed was that eligibility index. We are not requiring test scores, so we're just looking at your GPA. And so for non-residents, we are looking for a 3.0 and above GPA, but if you have less than that, we will evaluate supplemental additional supplemental requirements because you are WUI, so that kind of gives that benefit. And then we do accept transfer students, so both lower division and upper division transfer students. So no matter where you're at, if you want to go to your local community college on the island and then transfer to the States, you can do that at any point with Humboldt State. So whenever you're ready, just as long as you meet these requirements. And I highly recommend working with your transfer center at your community college or 4-year if you do transfer that way. That's also an option. And then working with myself. We want it to be a smooth process, and we want to make sure that everything will transfer over because you worked hard for those credits. So we want to make sure that as much of it as possible, if all of it can go over. All right, I know I'm coming down to my last minute, so I'd just like to give that encouragement of checking out every school that you're interested in. Check out their website, go onto their social media, sign up for their tours and talk to a student. It's a really great way, especially in this virtual climate, to try to get to know a place as best as you possibly can. And I know a lot of students ask about visiting, so I know our campus is closed this spring, but we're looking at bringing back campus tours this summer when it's safe to do so. So know that that will be available. And then, like I said, just connect with me. You can scan that QR code or you can follow the link in the chat that I shared when the presentation first began. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have about Humboldt State, CSUs, applying, that transition, et cetera. So that's my contact info. And I think I hit it right on the dot. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Vanessa. And yeah, perfectly timed. And as Vanessa mentioned, check out the chat as well. You can ask questions using the Q&A, but in the chat, the representatives might send you information, as Vanessa did, links and that sort of thing, and contact info that you can use to follow up after this session. Up next, we'll hear from the representative from the University of Puget Sound.
Okay, I hope you can see my screen just fine. Aloha, good afternoon, friends. My name is Robin Eigen. I'm the Director of Student Recruitment at University of Puget Sound. I'm also the admission counselor who works with students from Hawaii. In the next few minutes, I'm going to try and share with all of you some of the things that I really believe make Puget Sound a pretty remarkable college. Well, I think it's important for you to know these things. It's also really important that you consider what's important to you and what you want in a college experience. This is your college search, not mine. So as I'm talking, think about what you need to know to decide if you should apply to Puget Sound, and then ask. My contact information is in the chat, and I'll share it again at the conclusion, and I'm here to help. University of Puget Sound is a private residential liberal arts college. In a nutshell, we educate the whole person. We talk a lot about inside and outside the classroom learning. Inside the classroom, we really require students to take a broad course of study. This is an opportunity to explore interests, but it's also really foundational to your education. Whether you major in music performance or biochemistry, we're going to teach you to think critically, to problem solve creatively, to write, argue, analyze, communicate, and ultimately to lead. We want to graduate students who've really thought critically about their position in the world and their responsibility to their community, who are really prepared for life after graduation. We're not trying to prepare you just for the first job out of college. The economists that study these things believe that your generation is going to have 5 or 6 different careers. Regardless of the major you choose or the career paths you follow, we want to teach you those core skills that we believe are going to prepare you for a lifetime of thoughtful inquiry, self-exploration, and leadership. We're located in Washington's 3rd largest city. This is Tacoma, with Seattle just 35 miles to the north, and Olympia, which is the state capital, just 35 miles to the south. We're right in the middle of a vibrant, dynamic metropolitan region of the Pacific Northwest. For many students I've worked with from Hawaii, being near to water is really important to having a sense of place. If that's important for you, we've got that covered at Puget Sound. This is an evening view of downtown Tacoma, just 2 miles from campus. Tacoma's on a peninsula. I think it nicely highlights with this picture our proximity to water, to the downtown area, which is home to great museums, performing arts, wonderful restaurants, really pretty significant cultural amenities for a city of our size. So it's urban living. It's worth noting that Seattle-Tacoma International Airport is just halfway between Seattle and Tacoma. So that makes us really well positioned to provide students with easy access to national and international opportunities. And of course, this is the Pacific Northwest. So Tacoma is right along the shores of Puget Sound, where we have orca and giant octopus, and the urban corridor here, if you can see my mouse, that runs north-south along the water. It's sandwiched by 2 mountain ranges. To the west, you have the Olympics, and to the east, the North Cascades and Mount Rainier. Mount Rainier, which is of course plainly visible from campus. This photo has not been doctored. So on campus, students are within an hour-and-a-half drive of 2 ski areas, 2 national parks, multiple wilderness areas. It's urban living near the water with easy access to the outdoors that brings a lot of folks to the Pacific Northwest, not just to Puget Sound, the college. 80% of our students come from outside Washington state. They usually represent 45 to 47 states, 10 to 15 countries, but about 5% join us from Hawaii. I want to talk for a moment about our academic programs. We are definitely a small school, but with 2,200 students, we're a little bit larger than some of our peer institutions. So there's pretty broad opportunities. We have outstanding programs in our conservatory style School of Music, and our School of Business and Leadership, both of which are not necessarily common for a liberal arts college. We also have real strength in health sciences, offering neuroscience, bioethics, and exercise science, alongside doctoral programs in occupational therapy and physical therapy, and a brand new master's in public health. We've got full majors in Japanese, Chinese, and East Asian languages. We also have global development studies, environmental policy, international political economy. There's simply more here than most students are expecting to find, and it really is a flexible curriculum. We excel at helping students to find interests and talents they never knew they had. In the end, over 30% of our students will pursue a double major. And all of this is built on a foundation of small classes. The average is 17, and very close advising and mentoring from professors. The student-faculty ratio is just 11 to 1. At Puget Sound, we do require students to live on campus for at least 2 years, and many will live on campus for all 4, because we believe that what you do outside the classroom is really an essential part of your education. Hands-on learning opportunities are really important to what we do. Whether you're pursuing an internship, studying abroad, or engaging in extended service learning, perhaps performing in one of the full range of audition-level touring ensembles we have through our School of Music, or participating in one of the more than 100 student-run clubs and organizations we offer, perhaps conducting original research with a professor or doing your own independent research through a university-sponsored research grant, or getting involved in one of our 23 varsity sports teams. Puget Sound really offers students a 24/7 education through this rigorous interdisciplinary classroom experience and a vibrant, active campus community. Again, this is an education designed to prepare students not just for their first job, but for a lifetime of learning, exploration, and leadership. The outcomes are strong. You're seeing some of the places that the class of 2019 went to work after graduating. Within 6 months, over 90% were employed in graduate school or in public service. What this slide tells me is that a wide range of companies and organizations are looking for that core set of skills that a Puget Sound education provides. Acceptance rates to med school and law school are both nearly twice the national average. We've been named both the top producer of Fulbright Scholars and Peace Corps volunteers. If this sounds interesting to you, I'd encourage you to take a virtual tour, check out our virtual events, and consider starting your Common Application when the time comes. We are a test optional college, and our academic merit scholarships and financial aid programs are test blind. So even if you submit test scores with your application, they don't impact your financial aid. Academic merit scholarships are renewable. They range up to $30,000 a year. We also offer talent scholarships in music, theater, art, and debate. And I'm here to help. Please reach out. Mahalo for your time. Have a great rest of your Saturday. It was a pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you very much. And I'll reiterate, questions can be directed to our representatives at any time. Just use the Q&A button to ask questions. And if it's for a specific school, just name the school in your question. Up next, we'll hear from the representative from Universal Technical Institute.
Good afternoon, students. Thank you for coming to our virtual college fair. Glad to be here with these other fine colleges. My name is Jason Tagal, and I'm the Hawaii Pacific representative for Universal Technical Institute, UTI. Let me bring up my slides over here, and we'll go ahead and get started with our presentation this afternoon. Okay, so what we do here at Universal Tech is we're a technical college. So this is a trade school, and the training here is going to be strictly vocational. So it's a little bit different. As a career-specific college, what we do is, we prepare you for a technical career. Now, I'm here on Oahu. I live in Kaneohe. I'm a proud UTI graduate. I studied auto diesel technician training back in the 90s. And I used to be a technician. I was a service tech for Toyota, and I was a service manager for about 6 years. But our training is going to be more hands-on. This is a route to take if you're looking at, getting into an industry that's going to pay good. And if your strength is using tools, using your mind and all of your senses, smell and hearing and everything to really, make things work, then this might be a good route for you. Up at UTI, we don't do regular classes. So we don't actually have, regular academic classes taught over there. It's going to be strictly technical when you go through our training. So our program is short. It's only 1.5 years long. And it starts from the basics. And our core program covers auto diesel mechanics, right? And the technical side of it. So we can take a student from zero, as long as you have a high school diploma and you want to learn, a trade, that's what we do here. So it's a shorter amount of time, get you up to speed. And the second thing we do through Universal Tech is we make sure you get into the workforce. So at a career-specific training school, teach you, make sure you know what you have to do, and then transition you into the workforce. So most of the Hawaii students go to the campus in Arizona, but we do have campuses in California. There's Sacramento, Long Beach, Rancho, Houston, and Dallas, Texas, if you want to, live in the Lone Star State, Orlando, Florida, Mooresville, North Carolina, Exton, Pennsylvania, Bloomfield, New Jersey, and Chicago, Illinois. So they're all available. Most of the Hawaii Pacific students are in Arizona, though, because that's the only campus where the housing is close. It's about a mile away, and all of our housing is off campus. So we contract with different apartment complexes for our students to live in. And the other campuses are fine. It's just that the housing is going to be 7 or 8 miles away at all of the other ones, except for Arizona. So most of the Hawaii students go there because we usually don't have cars right off the bat. So at the Arizona facility, being about a mile away, you can walk to school, you can ride a bike to school. And so since there's so many other students from Hawaii who are there, every summer I bring a new group of around 50 new students from Hawaii, Guam, Saipan, and American Samoa, that you guys create a new ohana. You guys have a new bunch of people around you while you're there. And that kind of really helps you guys to, get rides to school and get rides to your part-time jobs and things like that while you're going through the training. So getting the bike, that's how they start out. Training is career specific. We're not going to have regular, academic classes. So we don't have any requirement for SAT or ASVAB or GPA or anything like that. You need a high school diploma, and your heart has to be in mechanics. It has to be something that you really want to learn more about, because there's a lot to learn. There's a lot of different systems out there, safety systems. As we see the the electrification, as we see these new Teslas coming out, and we're going to see that in the heavy machinery, we're there. Sometimes people ask me a kind of a silly questions like, hey, Jason, we hear the cars are all electric now and the cars are going to drive themselves. They're like magic. It's going to be so high tech. Do we even need technicians? I always smile. When I went to UTI a long time ago, my instructors told me, whatever man makes breaks. Okay. So I don't care what we come up with, electric, hydrogen, fuel cell, autonomous, it's coming. It's all coming. I can guarantee you there's gonna be a lot of work. There's a lot of work for us to do. And I see those Teslas and the doors open up to the roof. I think to myself, man, look at all those motors we have to synchronize and seals and sensors. And so the future is still really, really strong for a vocational career. No matter how high tech we get, there's going to be a need. You're going to also learn about industrial refrigeration here. You're going to learn about, the different electronic systems. We have a full welding and fabricating shop. If you prefer more the color and the style and the graphics, and if you want to do more of that part of it, we have a, body and paint program. If you prefer smaller engines, there's the motorcycle industry, kind of more of a niche industry. That's not a huge one. The bread and butter is really auto, diesel, welding, machining. Same thing, a niche industry is with the marine side. So we have a marine training program. It's a 1-year program in Orlando, Florida, if you want to be more around boats and jet skis and the whole marine industry. But that's what we do here, so if it's going to be more of a vocational program for you, if that's where you found your strength and your interest, and this might be something to think about. Short amount of time, about 1.5 years, and go right into the industry. These are all big companies. You can take your pick: Ford, Toyota, Mercedes, GM. We know these companies, and we recognize them. They're excellent employers. They pay really well. And they're national. They're global. These are global companies, and that's where we work. We actually have contracts with most of the manufacturers. So if you want to come out as a certified Toyota Tech or Ford or Nissan, we can get you going in that direction. So we have the advanced training for different brand, career-specific training, and that's something to consider as well. We do have the housing. The housing is about 0.5 mile away. We talked about that, 0.5 mile to 1 mile away. And the students actually work during our training. So the training is designed for you to actually get some experience too. I'd like to thank you guys for having my presentation today. Good luck to all of you, and hopefully we'll see you in the regular format next year. Thank you very much, Russ, and to the whole team.
Thank you. And again, I'll reiterate, for any attendees that have questions, just use the Q&A button, and also pay attention to the chat as representatives are sending info to you through the chat function there. Up next, we'll hear from the representative from California Lutheran University.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. As someone from Hawaii myself, I'm truly privileged and honored to be speaking to all of you today. My name is Sheldon. I'm one of the admission counselors here at California Lutheran University. We're located in Northern California. We are located about 45 minutes away from Los Angeles and Hollywood areas. We're about 30 minutes away from Malibu, an hour and a half away from Disneyland. So just in your Southern California area. Just Cal Lutheran by the numbers, we have about 3,000 undergraduate students. So we are a small private liberal arts institution. So you'll definitely have more of that family-like atmosphere at Cal Lutheran. Average class size is about 17 students. So you'll definitely get to know who your professors are. You will definitely be able to know who you can count on to ask for help. Our professors are definitely have open doors to be able to get assistance as well. We also have a student to faculty ratio about 15:1, so you will definitely get that guidance through your 4 years as well. We also have a guaranteed graduation rate of 4 years at Cal Lutheran, so we will make sure that you'll get your degree and be ready to go. Although we are a Lutheran institution, we have students from 39 faith and non-faith backgrounds, so all are truly welcome at Cal Lutheran. About 27% of our students are the first in their families to go to college, including myself. I'm one of those individuals as well. And we are very diverse as well. So about 53% of our students are from underrepresented backgrounds. So you'll definitely see a lot of diversity, a lot of students from all walks of life. Although our first name is California, we have students coming from 42 states and 49 countries. So you'll get that national and international experience as well. We are also a Hispanic serving institution. So like I mentioned before, diversity is something that's a big part of the Cal Lutheran experience. Overall, 97% of our students either get a full-time job in the field that they're graduating in or going on to grad school within 9 months. So our students are very well prepared after Cal Lutheran. Some of our flagship programs that we have at Cal Lutheran are study abroad, internships, and research. So our students have gone to over 80 different countries with our study abroad opportunities. So whether that be a semester long with a Cal Lutheran professor or going on a short 2-week travel seminar or going on a cruise ship as part of our semester at seas program, we have a little bit of everything. There really is no country that students cannot go to as long as it's relatively safe for students, they're able to go. We also have students who have done really great internships. Over 500 internships have been done last year, both virtually and in person. Being in the Southern California area, you'll be able to get access to really great internships. So a lot of our students like to work, intern with Disney. We have Amgen, which is one of the leading pharmaceutical corporations in America, right in our backyard. We also have the Los Angeles Rams NFL team practicing on our campus. So a lot of our sports management majors or exercise science or kinesiology majors are getting internships with them as well. So we really allow you to get that hands-on experience before you graduate. We also have really great research opportunities. So whether you want to take your research, at the ocean nearby, up in the mountains, we even have our students go abroad for their research. We definitely have students also going to the CERN lab in Switzerland at the Particle Collider. We've had 2 students do that 2 summers ago. So wherever your research may take you, we'll definitely allow you to do that. What's really great about all of these experiences is that you don't have to be a junior or senior to get these opportunities. You can start these opportunities as soon as you set foot on campus, and you just have to find the right people. So what's really great is that we'll find you the right professor, the right advisor to be able to allow you to accomplish your dreams. In terms of our housing, we are very unique in that we guarantee housing all 4 years for our students. So for our out-of-student population, we definitely have a place for you to stay. We have 15 co-ed residence halls for students to choose from. All of our residence halls are suite style. So it's 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, and a common area. Every residence hall comes with air conditioning, heating, Wi-Fi, cable. So everything's all included with that. We even provide free parking and free laundry as well. So everything's all included. We also have dining options as well. So we have our Almond Commons, what you can see on the screen there. It's an all-you-can-eat style eatery. You just have to swipe your ID in and you can eat basically whatever you want. We also have the largest Starbucks in Ventura County right on campus. We have a Jamba Juice, and we also have the Havoc Grill to serve to-go items as well. In terms of our application requirements, we are on the common application. So a really standard, you can apply to multiple schools all with just one application. We do require transcripts. Starting from 2020 and beyond, we are a test optional school. So if you do not want to submit your test scores, or especially for students now who are applying, we don't require test scores at all. So you don't have to worry about submitting them if you do not want to. We also require at least one letter of recommendation. We take the holistic review of all of our applications. So it's not just, you have to have a certain GPA or test scores and we say yes or no. We'll look at your personal statements. We'll look at your letters of recommendation and get to know who you are as a student before we move forward with our decision. In the middle, you'll see our average admitted student profile. Don't let those numbers scare you. Like I mentioned, we do have those, we do have the whole average GPA is 3.8 weighted. We always weight our GPA. So if you take any honors, AP, IB courses, we'll automatically weight that for you. We also have our average GPA, our average SAT of 1150, average ACT of 24. Like I did mention, we are test optional as well. For students who are applying for our 2021 year, we are, our applications are due on November 1st and January 1st. If you have any questions, you can reach out to our admissions office. Thank you so much for paying attention. I hope to see you on campus soon.
Thank you very much. You can also ask questions at any time using the Q&A button. And if it's for a specific representative, just make sure to name the school in your question. Up next, we'll hear from the representative from the University of Hawaii at Manoa.
Awesome, students. Thank you guys so much for logging on and joining us for the HACAC Fair. Let me just share my screen really quickly. So my name is Jose. I'm one of the admissions counselors with the Office of Admissions, here to talk to you a little bit more about the University of Hawaii at Manoa. So it's really great that you guys are considering starting your journey with us here at home. So as you guys may be familiar with, the University of Hawaii at Manoa is the oldest and largest university in the state of Hawaii. So we're established in 1907. We're over 115 years old. We're considered the flagship institution for the University of Hawaii system and the oldest and largest university in the state. So we're located right here on the island of Oahu, right in the heart of Honolulu. Total campus acreage for a university is 320 acres. This is an aerial view of the University of Hawaii at Manoa. On lower campus, you'll find student housing as well as our athletic complex. And in upper campus, you'll find all of your academics. So comprehensively, everything that you're looking for a college experience is gonna be in one setting. We definitely have a lot of real estate at our university. So luckily the weather's great year round. It's designated as a national arboretum. So there's hundreds of varieties of plants and different types of trees. So it's overall a really great place for a college experience. In terms of our student body, we roughly have about 65% of our students, which are Hawaii State residents. 27% of our students are from the continental US. And then the remaining percentage are from international locations. So according to our World News Report, we are actually the 6th most diverse college campus in the entire US. We have all 50 states, over 120 countries and territories represented. In terms of our student population, right now, our total student population, we have roughly short of 18,000 total students. Our incoming freshman class, which we started in August, had about 2,100 students. So even with COVID and everything else, we still had a really great freshman class start with us. And on average, that's the amount of students that we have coming in as freshmen and the same amount coming in as transfer students as well. Average class size for the University of Hawaii at Manoa is about 22, and our student to faculty ratio is 13:1. We have over 104 bachelor's programs at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, everything from astronomy, animal sciences, art history, athletic training, all the way to Thai theater, tropical medicine, women's studies, and zoology. So comprehensively, we offer more programs than any other school in the state of Hawaii. Quite a bit of different areas that you can focus in on. We also have professional degrees such as architecture, medicine, to name a few. If you eventually want to go to med school, law school, physical therapy school, we have a lot of those options as well. So you'd actually pick one of our specific bachelor focuses with a pre-profession attachment to it. So for example, if you want to go to med school, our most popular focuses are going to be biology, microbiology, molecular biosciences and bioengineering, public health, and kinesiology. So lots of different options for you if you want to go into pre-professions, as well as if you want to do combined degrees. We have a few programs, roughly about 18 to 20, where you can get both your bachelor's and master's in only 5 years. These programs include economics, political science, mechanical and civil engineering, to name a few. So there's a lot of freedom in the framework. If you're not too sure what you want to major in, you can come in undeclared, go through exploratory majors. If you eventually decide you want to double major, you can do that as well. We have a bunch of different certificate programs. So lots of ways for you to really customize your college experience with us here at UH Manoa. We're globally recognized for our research opportunities. We're one of 115 schools in the country designated Research 1. And we're one of 5 schools in the country that has a land, sea, space, and sun grant designation. So we are really well known for the sciences and STEM. However, you can actually go into a number of different areas. Some are more well-known programs as well. Apart from the sciences, include international business. Currently, we're ranked 15th in the US, according to a World News report. Travel industry management, our School of Nursing is nationally ranked, School of Social Work, as well as components of our College of Engineering and School of Education. So comprehensively across the board, a lot of really great programs for you to take advantage of. And because we are Research 1, you can actually stay engaged and start your research as early as freshman year on the UH Manoa campus. We have quite a bit of different research facilities you can access. Our most well-known research facility is actually pictured here. This is the Hawaii Institute of Marine Biology on Coconut Island, also known as HIMB, located in Kaneohe Bay, so about 25 minutes east of our campus. It's actually the only research facility in the entire world built in a coral reef. So we do have our own research island for marine sciences. This is just one of a handful of research facilities you can access as a student. Like other universities, there's lots of ways for you to really take advantage of your time with us to make the most of your Manoa experience. We have over 240 clubs and organizations. We're Division I for athletics, so the highest division for collegiate sports across the board, 12 women's sports, 7 men's sports. With your student ID, everything is free for you. You get free access to all athletic events. You can engage in research. We have the best gym in the entire state of Hawaii on campus called the Warrior Recreation Center. We have a nationally ranked student newspaper, so tons of ways for you to make the most of your experience. If you're looking for information for our university, check out our main website. I am running out of time, so if you have any questions, you can actually stay in contact with me through this email. Thank you guys so much for your time, and we look forward to connecting with you right on the UH Manoa campus. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's leave that up there for a second so people can see it. Also, you can send that information to them in the chat if you'd like. And for our attendees, just make sure to use the Q&A if you have any questions for any of our representatives. Up next, we will hear from the representative from St. Mary's College of California.
Aloha, everybody. My name is Jenna Sharino. I serve as the Associate Director of Admissions for St. Mary's College of California. I also work specifically with students from throughout Hawaii, so you are more than welcome. Please take down my contact information if you have any questions at any point throughout your college search. I would love to introduce St. Mary's to you as one of the colleges that change lives. We actually have another Colleges That Change Lives school joining us today, University of Puget Sound. The Colleges That Change Lives is a very renowned organization of schools across the country that are all liberal arts colleges that focus on a dedicated sense of community, residential experience, and also that focus on the importance of fit in the college search process. And St. Mary's is actually the only only Division I and only Catholic college that's renowned in the Colleges That Change Lives. And I myself graduated from a Colleges That Change Lives school, so this is especially meaningful to me in sharing with you all. So to share more about St. Mary's, we're located in Moraga, California, which is about 35 minutes east of San Francisco. So we're in the heart of the San Francisco Bay Area for those that might have been to Northern California before. The East Bay is absolutely gorgeous. We're about 15 minutes from Walnut Creek, 20 minutes from Berkeley, 20 minutes from Oakland, and then about 35 minutes from the city. So for students, location is everything, especially students that are coming from out of state, not only in enjoying where you're going to college and getting off campus and having an incredible experience, really in the midst of one of the most diverse cities in the state. of California and arguably in the United States, I think as well. But when it comes down to it for internships, it's a pretty huge benefit of our campus experience too, for whatever major you're pursuing. Our student campus and student population is about 2,700 undergraduate students. So really an emphasis on community is what our college is all about. Community actually is one of our core principles as a Catholic Lasallian college. So our core principles exist around community, inclusion, respect for all, and social justice. Those are the deep meanings of what it means to be a Lasallian college. About 52% of our students do identify as a religion other than Catholic. So it's definitely a very spiritual community. Students have the ability to pursue all faiths, whether that be through our chapel or the mission and ministry, and also our intercultural center. We focus on a liberal arts core experience. So students throughout your 4 years, you'll be experiencing classes within a liberal arts context. So in the sciences, the creative arts, the humanities, the social sciences, regardless of whatever your major is, you'll be able to focus on classes and experience courses outside of your major. But at the same time, you will be jumping right into the program of study that interests you. We don't have any impacted programs. And also students do not have to declare their major until the end of their first year. So coming into St. Mary's, you have the opportunity to really engage all of your different interests to really build that foundation in working with your advisors to build that 4-year graduation plan. Notably, and I think most fun, especially when we'll be back on campus for the fall and when everything is back in the swing of things, but we are a Division I school in NCAA athletics. So our student athletes, we have 17 D1 men's and women's sports teams. They compete at the highest level in the NCAA. So even though we're a small school, we are not small in school spirit. Students are really proud to be Gales, which is our mascot. And we also have over 23 different club and intramural sports too. So those are ways where students can play still competitively, but without the requirement of being a student athlete. We have 40 plus academic majors, 43 to be precise. They span across 3 schools, the School of Science, the School of Liberal Arts, and the School of Economics and Business Administration. Our average class size is 19 students. So really engaging in discussion-based style classes is what the academic experience is all about, especially within a context of focusing on mentorship and collaboration, the opportunity to be present and to be able to advocate for yourself, but to have others that are advocating for you too, whether that be your professors or your peers or other resources and other departments on campus, is incredibly beneficial for our students in their ability to graduate in 4 years. Some of our top programs, we're incredibly known for business administration, also kinesiology, it's one of our top programs, psychology, biology, and English. Those are our top programs in terms of, I guess, numbers of students that we graduate with. But notably, I love to talk about our education program. Students have the ability, if you want to be a teacher, you will earn your teaching degree in your teaching credential in 4 years. So it's an accelerated teaching credential program. Students will earn their degree at the same time that they're earning their credential. We also have incredible performing arts programs that are conservatory style, but that do not require a audition in order to major or minor in music. So all of our student groups and orchestral groups, the theatrical productions are all open for students to participate. And as I mentioned, we don't have any impacted programs, so no programs limit the number of students that they accept at the time of admissions, and you don't have to declare your major until, again, after your first year. I cannot wait until we are back on campus. We're fully planning on being open in the fall for campus housing and also campus classes. About 90% capacity is what we're looking at for the fall semester at this point. We have guaranteed housing for the first 2 years for students. So for students that are from out of state, students from Hawaii, from Southern California, from New York, you will be guaranteed to live on campus your first 2 years. And we actually require students to do so in their first year as well. For students that really reside on campus, they are very eager to be a part of the campus experience, whether that be through service or through campus clubs or jobs on campus as well. These next 2 slides really quickly, these are my favorite things about St. Mary's and what makes St. Mary's so unique in terms of being a colleges that change lives school. January term is a short term in the month of January where students have the opportunity to either take a class on campus for 1 month that has nothing to do with anything in relation to their major, or do a study abroad domestically or internationally. And January term is a Great Books program course. It's a full Great Books program experience where every year students are exploring texts from the greatest authors, philosophers, thinkers of our time period from 3,000 years ago to the 21st century, from both Eastern and Western authors or areas, excuse me. So students in this kind of class are engaging in that Socratic method of learning where students are the teachers. The students are the ones that are asking questions and discussing amongst each other the messages, the themes, the context of what they're reading and how that applies to our lives today in the 21st century. We have 2 deadlines for admissions, early action and regular decision. Early action, the deadline is November 15th.
I'm sorry to jump in, but we're about 7.5 minutes in. So if you want to go ahead and get to your contact info, maybe to end.
Yep, sure, Russ, thank you.
Get to our Q&A real quick.
Last thing, I would just like to share our merit-based scholarships. We do award merit-based aid up to $30,000. They are renewable annually. These are the ways that you can contact our office. So please do feel free to keep in touch with me if you have any other questions, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you on campus soon. Thank you so much. Mahalo.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And I'd like to invite all of our reps back on camera and on their microphones. And I'm going to do a quick 1-question Q&A as I get to play talk show host at the end of this, but a little bit of value added as we end the session here. And the simple question is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process right now? I'll have you answer in the same order that you presented. So we'll start with Humboldt State University.
Yeah, I think with so many moving and changing parts, just connect with somebody at the schools that you're interested in. Connect with your counselor. I know a lot of them on their counselor's page may even put their service region. So out of state, Hawaii, like you want to look for those and have that be your person to ask those questions, because there are things that may be changing with requirements and COVID, and are they online, are they in person? And it's just great to have that one go-to person that you can get all your answers. So that's my biggest tip.
Excellent. University of Puget Sound.
I would second what Vanessa said. I know, especially with COVID, it's really hard for us to connect with students, and for most of us in admission, that's why we got into this work. So please don't be afraid to email us or set up a time to chat over a video. I would also just say there's a pretty tremendous amount you can learn from virtual tours. I know it seems a little mundane sometimes, but really go check those resources out, explore as many different types of schools as you can, and kind of figure out what you want from your education.
Universal Technical Institute.
Thank you. Students, follow your strengths. Follow your strengths. Think about what you're good at. Think about what you've enjoyed growing up. And as you make this leap to becoming an adult, it's scary. But if you're following your strengths, what's in your heart, what you really like, that's going to be the right route for you. So whichever school's got your best program and it's going to line up with your strengths, you're going to be just fine. So strengths are yours and use those.
California Lutheran University.
I always tell students to keep their nets open, choose schools in different areas where you may not have thought of. Don't let weather prevent you from applying to schools where they have snow. This is your chance to discover a little bit of everything and to really to see everything actually. So yeah.
University of Hawaii at Manoa.
I think somebody already mentioned it, but utilize your virtual resources as much as possible to learn about schools, whether they have virtual campus tours. I know this is not the most ideal way to learn about your colleges, because you want to go and visit schools in person, but all of our universities have virtual resources built in their pages. Connect with their counselors, one-on-one appointments. As much as possible, harness the potential of technology to your advantage, especially in your final stages of deciding where you're going to attend.
And St. Mary's College of California.
Focus on fit. Find the schools that are going to offer you everything that you're looking for in your undergraduate college experience, whether that be service, your major, studying abroad. Don't choose a college that's not going to offer all those things, because you really want to make the most out of your 4-year experience that's going to really compound who you'll become, the things that you'll be able to accomplish. And I know now with this increasingly digital age, we're nearing the end of it, but as all my fellow colleagues have stated, use your resources. I know for students from Hawaii, you are accustomed to all of this, as you might not have traditionally been able to have visited most of our college campuses previously. So use those virtual resources since now they're finally available to you.
I want to thank you for sharing that great advice for all of our attendees and also sharing all the great information about each of your institutions. Finally, I want to thank all of our attendees for joining us for this session. When you close this window, there'll be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other session recordings at strivescan.com/Hawaii. Once again, thank you to all of our representatives for presenting during this session, and have a great rest of your Saturday. Take care.